How to prevent side control. We all know you hate it. Everyone does. So, as your mum or dad would have said to you, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Let's have a look at the ounce of prevention today. Hey guys, Professor Tom Davey here with Reese. We're going to have a look at preventing side control. Most people, and I'm sure it's probably one of the most searched terms in YouTube Jiu-Jitsu, which would be how to escape side control. It's the biggest problem that we often face, especially as white or blue belts, how to escape side control. We always find ourselves there, and now we're stuck, our breathing's affected, now we're getting submitted and mounted. So here's the answer to how to escape side control. Although we have videos on it that will drastically change your game, realistically, you shouldn't get out. We're told that side control is a dominant position. So if it was easy to get out of, then why are you learning side control? Why are you learning guard passing? So understand that you're not meant to get out of side control. Now that we've put that hat on and kind of not accepted our fate, but understood that we're fighting a drastically uphill battle if we are held in side control, how do we prevent it? Let's look at some simple tools. Obviously, you can use one of these tools, preferably all of them, and it's going to prevent things. First things first, if Reese is held in my closed guard, there is an inherent step between him passing and where we are now. And that's opening up of the legs. So before he does anything, he's got to open up my legs somehow, okay? Now he can look at passing. All right, so that's the value of closed guard, is I've got a buffer, safety zone. Only when he opens my legs can I potentially be passed. So let's go straight to them opening your legs. Now, a lot of people try to squeeze in with their knees this way. So if people are pushing at your guard to open it up, instead of squeezing with your knees, cross your feet and leg press away. But please be careful, you will break people's ribs with this if you're not careful. So as he goes to push down with his knee and stuff, I extend my legs away and it keeps my knees in nice and tight. Now, if he does open my legs, don't wait for him to open up your legs. When they're about to open up, you open them up. So what I wouldn't want to see you do is he opens my legs and now staples it, say, with his knee, and now he starts to pass your guard, and the whole world is against you from that point on. So as soon as I feel that, hey, this bugger's got to actually open my legs, I'm going to increase my contact points on him. So if he opens my legs, it gives me an excuse to deploy them as weapons. So I presume your hands are already doing a job. When you play guard, if you want to prevent side control, understand that he's primarily using two limbs and sometimes one leg, but you have two legs and two arms at use at all times because your back is bearing your weight, whereas his knees or feet are bearing his weight. So as soon as my legs are going to open, say if I have these grips, I'm now going to start bringing my feet into play, okay? So we've looked at I've just done a simple open guard here. Okay, my left foot is on the hip, I've got right hand in the collar, left hand on the sleeve, and my right foot has just done a little leg beater around here. So I can now start to push him away. From this position alone, I could look at the tilt sweep and the triangle, okay? But not to mention arm bars, omoplatas, and arm drags, and all this other fun stuff. But you see that the difference between him pushing my knee down and stapling it, this is all Reese now. I'll be lucky to prevent this no matter how good I am. Whereas as he starts to open up, I go, all right, this is going to open, so let's open it on my terms. He does not know I'm going to let go. And now I'm using all four limbs on his body. Okay? Remember, if he starts trapping one of your limbs, use the other three. Okay? One of the influential coaches I have, John Will, he was fundamental in changing my thinking when it came to people passing my guard. When people would staple my leg, I would just be thinking, my right leg, my right leg, my right leg. But don't worry about the milk that's already spilled on the floor. You've got three other unopened cartons of milk right here. Push them away and use your left knee in place. And now you can push them away and you'll get your other leg free. And now we can start using our forelimbs in different ways. Whether it's spider, lasso, close guard, butterfly guard. We want to use all forelimbs as much as we can. So then we have a couple of little fail safes. What do I mean by fail safes? Well, the shit's already hit the fan. How do you survive? So let's say he throws my legs away. Before I get controlled like this, it's always more beneficial for me to be up on my knees. So as he say, he could do any pass he wants, but let's just say he throws my legs. I'm gonna try to get up, keeping myself in a ball and get to my knees. From this position, even if he sprawls on me, I can still fade back and put him back in my guard. We have a video already up on YouTube a couple of weeks ago on that. So that's one of my fail safes. I go to my knees, but remember, don't just curl up into a ball and hope for the best. Okay, you've got to either get back to guard, or if you've got a good wrestling background, wrestle them. Or of course, just run away if you're not a grappler. However, I have another thing up my sleeve. He might throw my legs. I can use my opposite leg on the opposite side. This is so underutilized. We call this crossing over in our gym. So once I use my left leg on the right side, I'll frame, I'll scoot away, and now put him back into a conventional guard control. So let's have a look at how we might use that. He might do a basic underhook pass like this. So I'll frame, move my hip, and bring this foot over, put my frames back in place, and now scoot back and start playing guard. Again, he might pass my guard. I'll hold him away long enough to get my other foot in place. Now have my frames in and move on out and start replaying guard again. So of course, it begs the question, guys, when he's trying to pass your guard, if you hold close guard, he has one problem to solve. However, if I choose to use more advanced guards, and they're not hard, white belts can do them. If I choose to use more advanced guards like this, he has 4 problems to solve before he can do his pass and then try to get to my side control. So even if he solves one of these problems, I've still got 3, and I can just replace this problem. Now he solves this problem, but I replace it with this problem. Okay? So if he is constantly trying to solve your 4 limbs, never can he say, oh, time for my favorite pass, and then pass and squish you from side control. Okay? So one of the last things we're going to have a look at is the use of our hands. I like to use my hands either to deflect the head or to deflect using a collar. Okay? Either way, we're going to try to do it with a stiff arm as possible. So if Reese is trying to say, do a Toriander pass on me and I've got his collar, he can do a pass, but I can keep him at arm's length and I just hold on to him and move my butt. So I've got a motor hand, a block hand, and now I can just move. Even if he passes my guard all the way around to the side, see how I can keep him? See how I keep him away? Using this stiff arm grip is way more effective than you think. Can he potentially approach you and do a flying armbar? Absolutely. However, at the end of the day, you know, it's probably a good risk to take considering the likely consequences of side control anyway. So that's how I'd use it on the collar. That's how I'd look at using it on the head. So let's say he's doing an over-under pass now, for lack of better passing here. One of the big mistakes is people try to deflect their head this way. No, deflect their head back from where he came from. Don't let him go cross-body on you. You're inherently controlled because our spines are crossing. Don't let him cross. Push away, hip back, start playing your guard again. Okay? So these are all many, many ways that we can stop the guard from getting passed. This video could be preventing side control, but that's what a good guard is. Okay, if your guard gets so good that they can't pass, then you look at your sweeps, then you look at your attacks. But first, your guard has to do what its name implies. Guard your side control from occurring. Guard your upper body, the valuable real estate. And once it's guarded that, then they get frustrated and confused and pause. Boom! That's the time for the scissor sweep you've been trying for the last 6 months and it's not been working. That's the time for the cross choke when he's, how do I solve this? That's the time to get him. Not when you're in close guard and he's in your close guard and he's ready for everything. You got to make him frustrated. You got to use all 4 limbs all the time. And then when he can't solve the puzzle, you can finish him with either a sweep or a submission. So there you go, guys. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And you've just looked at quite a good few ounces of prevention right there. Happy guarding, and if you do get caught in side control escape, enjoy it. If you get pinned and crushed from side control, at least you know jiu-jitsu works. Thanks, guys. See you next time.